So you want to know what's going on in this crazy place? Well, it's easy to figure out because you know the devil is delusional, the god of this world right now, this system, not the God of the universe or the whole thing. But right down here in the fallen state, man in the old Adam is the kingdom of darkness, right? The new Adam's the kingdom of light. And so everybody around you who's not really saved, they might think they are, but they're not. They're part of the darkness too. If you've ever been married to one, I mean, it's obvious. When you see what happens is they're trying to hide, but they can't hide from a born again. So if you've ever been married to one and you know they put on the show, right? But when you notice anytime somebody with money comes around, they get all nice and they change their voice and their attitude and all, and they're all trying to kiss up. Their uncle shows up or something, and he's making all this money driving a truck or whatever, and they make a special event to go see him. Why? Because they want some of that money. It's all about money. Mammon, money. If there's a neighbor across the street who's a millionaire, he's my best. Him and his wife are my best friend now. They changed their whole demeanor, and they got to be friends with the money, right? The common man, they don't waste time. They don't try to be nice to them. They want to just be nice to the money, right? And you see it in the churches, and this is why it's so sad. You see them doing it in church, and it's like those who make a little bit more money, they put them up on a high horse, you know, and it's sad. It's sad. My point is, if you can see it in people in your house, or in your church, or in your environment, your friends, or family, or whatever, people you're married to, if you can see it in them, you can actually see it in the system too. You can see that the devil, you really know what's the devil doing. He's mad because he got kicked out, right? So he's trying to get back. And he's not only is he trying to get back, he's trying to be God. His pride is off the roof. And so he wants to prove to God that he's bringing peace to this world. He wants to prove to God that he can do better than Jesus. That's what it comes down to. The devil wants to prove to God that he can do better than Jesus. And see, Jesus, he did a hat trick at the cross. Jesus did a hat trick at the cross. The devil thought, well, if we killed Jesus, see, the devil's in a works-based salvation too. The devil had no clue. The devil could solve all mysteries. King of Tyre, you could solve all mysteries. But there's one mystery he couldn't solve, right? That is faith alone in Jesus alone. He couldn't figure that one out. And so the devil is trying to put all his people under a works-based salvation, be good enough, outward show. You know, I would see them, when somebody rich would show up, they'd have to dress up and look their nicest because they're trying to get in and be their buddy with the rich people so that they can get some of that money, you know. Probably sleeping with them. It didn't matter how old they were, they were probably sleeping with them. It's all about outward show and money and image and look at me. It's always an image and outward show, you know. It wasn't a heart issue. It wasn't introspection. And I actually saw it in the churches. And when I joined a couple churches, I thought these people were saved. It's all outward show. They're fakers, you know. Half of them wouldn't admit sin. They wouldn't admit that they're sinners saved by grace. They might sing Amazing Grace, but when you talk to them one-on-one, you say something about sin. Yeah, well, we don't sin. or something stupid like that. I mean, they wouldn't say those exact words, but it's pretty much the same thing. We don't have any. I'm sitting, and I wasn't grounded enough to rebuke them back then. But if you're still here, that means you got things to work on. If God has left you here, Enoch walked with God and was not. Enoch was actually a type and shadow of the rapture of the church. But Enoch walked with God and was not. I'm thinking that the church, if the church separated from Babylon, God would take us all, take every one of us out. If everybody would separate from Babylon and cut the music off, the noise, the TV, the drama, the insanity, and just be in doing your duty, your life as a vapor, just do what you're supposed to do while you're here, you know? If people would, if the saints would just get right, I think that the whole church would be raptured up. Maybe God's just waiting for the last one that's going to get saved. It's very few people. I don't hear many people really getting saved nowadays. I used to hear one a day 20 years ago. Now I don't hear it. You hear one a month, maybe. Setting the captives free. You might hear one a year. I mean, there's people getting saved, don't get me wrong, but it seems to be less and less getting saved as before. But yeah, they put on that painted face and perfume when somebody's got some money coming into town. You say, well, why are you dressing up? Well, it's just blah, blah, blah. It's just a purse. Oh, I'm not really dressing up. Oh, yeah? Yeah, whatever. You see through them. So my point is, when you can see through it in your home, and you can see through it in church, and people talk, and the words reveal everything, you can see through it when they put on that show. What does that mean? It means you can see through the government lies. You can see through the system lies. You can see through the devil's lies. You actually, everything that's righteous, the devil is the anti. So you can read the devil's mind, because what's he trying to do? Steal, kill, and destroy. He's trying to pull you into temptation and take you down by via the world, the flesh, life. And those three things were happening in Genesis 3. They're happening today. They happen in Genesis 3. And so you already know how the devil thinks. You know how these narcissists think, these psychopaths, these fakers, they can be in your house. You already know what they're thinking. You don't even have to read minds. You just know, by their nature. You know that a snake will bite you if you get to try to grab it. You know, if you take the food from your dog's plate, he's going to growl. So you already know the character of these people, and you don't even need to read your mind. You know what they're going to do before they do it. And here's what my point is, especially if you're living one, and they see that you see through them. They know that you see through their fake. What do they got to do? They got to flip the script, make you look bad, make you look like the liar, make you look like the game, make you look like the bad guy, and they want to take your identity in this outward show. But you know, see, you're not going to try to do that. You would hope other people would wake up to it, but they can't. They only see that image that's being put out there. They only see the flattery. So many people are flattered by this person because they know how to talk the talk, right? They're flattered by this person. You see through it that this person's, it's all fake. I don't even want to call it a narcissist. It's just fake, like Dr. Fake. And y'all know who I'm talking about. Dr. F-A-U, Fake. Dr. Fake is just doing what the devil tells him to do. Sad. I feel sorry for old man Wayne because the devil has deceived them, and they think they're good enough to get to heaven, and when they wake up burning and forever, and God says, look, I sent a messenger, but you rejected the truth because you thought you could do it. They don't really trust Jesus. They might say it, but if you trust Jesus, you're going to admit wrong at times. If you're living with somebody and they never admit wrong, I made a mistake, or they try to put you back under guilt, shame, condemnation, even if you apologize, they keep trying to beat you down, that person needs to go, because that's a demon. Read the book of Galatians. Read Romans 8. They try to put you back under law when you're free. Romans 8, the book of Galatians. It's so obvious what they are, and they know you see through it. But because they speak and say, oh, I believe, but have you believed unto transformation? Have you really believed? The devils believe and tremble, the Bible says. Have you really been born again? Is that kind of belief, or is it just a demonic belief? Devils believe in God but tremble.